Hey, aren't you forgetting something?
Forgetting what? That you exist? Because that's fine by me.
Okay, first of all, ouch. I will never emotionally recover from this. Second of all, you had something you were going to do today.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember now.
You do?
Yeah, funny you should say that. I actually had it in my schedule at 12:45 today that I was going to stand here and talk sarcastically to you, but I guess I forgot. But you know how it is. These things happen.
Oh, shut up, dickhead. I'm talking about time fracture.
Oh shit, yeah, I did actually kind of forget about Time Fracture, didn't I? I'm sure I'll be able to catch it next month, there's no rush.
That's literally what you said every single time you've had to cancel last minute on time fracture, and there's no second chances this time. In case you didn't notice, it's closing in a few days, so it's now or never, buddy.
Well, shit, fuck, I guess I'll go Time Fracture then.
Yeah, I guess you'd better have.
What's up everyone, welcome to my Time Fracture video. At long last, we're finally getting to it. Now, this video is going to be relatively spoiler free. I'm not going to completely refrain from telling you details of it, but they'll be very minor at most, and it'll only be if I need to get my point across about a certain thing to do with like my opinion on Time Fracture and how I found it. And also, obviously, you may think, what's the point in spoiling it? It's closed now. There's no point in spoiling something that will never come back. Well, I'm in the camp that hopes and prays that it will return someday in some form, and if that's the case, I don't want to be the one to ruin it for anyone else. So like I say, I will keep the spoilers to a minimum. But yeah, I'm just going to get in and talk about my Time Fracture experience. Yeah, it was good. End of review. Hope you guys enjoyed. Nah, I'm just kidding. It was actually quite enjoyable. I think it's going to be more enjoyable for the hardcore Doctor Who fan. I feel like if you're just a casual viewer that just jumped in David Tennant and then left, like a lot of like the mainstream audience of Doctor Who has done, they won't really enjoy it as much, because if you don't catch any of the ebbs and flows of it, and you don't pick up on all these little subtle nods to the classic series and all that, then you'll just see this experience as you just standing around, and especially if you don't get to interact with like the actors and get to actually do some of the puzzles, because the best way to describe this Time Fracture experience is that it's like an escape room and interactive theatre kind of molded into one, which is fine if you're in a small group of like 10 to 15 people, but sometimes when you're in certain parts of Time Fracture itself, you're sometimes with a group of 20 to 30, and that means that there are a good majority of the crowd that is experiencing this thing is literally just watching. Like, there aren't as many opportunities for you to get stuck in, like pick up items and solve puzzles and interact with like I say, the actors. Which is why I think this sort of experience would have been ideal for a smaller group of people, if that makes sense. Like, I think that in a group of 10, let's just say, it would be ideal, because like I say, the same experience just with a group of 10 instead means that every single person in the group has the opportunity. They can choose not to, they can choose to just watch from the background, which is also fine, which is why I think it does work if you are the sort of person that just wants to watch it go and you just want to be a bystander and watch the thing unfold. It's fine for that. It's a great experience if that's what you're looking for, but if you're looking to get stuck in, there needs to be some sort of balancing in there where they kind of delegate smaller groups per per tour, if that makes sense, which I guess is kind of might be one of the reasons why it's closing, is because like people didn't get the experience that was intended, I guess, because halfway through I kind of got lost. Like, the group that I was with for one actor kind of split into two different camps, and I didn't know which one to go for, and before I could decide, they were gone, and I was like a lost child in a grocery store looking for his mum. So that was one mistake, but it actually got salvaged because a different actor came along and swooped me up into their group and made it all part of like my suspension of disbelief wasn't shattered, at least, which is nice that was kind of saved, if that makes sense. So there are clearly like plans and contingencies in place to where if someone in the experience like gets lost from their original like crowd, they have, like I said, they have backup plans on backup plans for that. Unfortunately though, with me momentarily like falling out of the story real quick before getting lapped up in another like tour group or whatever, it did mean that I did miss something to do with the Daleks that I didn't get to experience when it comes up at the end of it. And I will say the ending of like the experience, I mean, people know that they're going to bring like voices of the Doctors back, even if it's just voice actors like imitating, like Chris Eccleston, for example. So everyone knows that they're going to get the Doctors back in some sort of fashion. So I think that they were implemented in a good way. Like, it wasn't overbearing, and considering some actors of the Doctor were actually like, you know, actually a part of the experience and they were actually in for it, and some weren't, and you could definitely tell like which of the actors of the Doctor were actually hired to be in Time Fracture and which ones were just like audio clips ripped out from past episodes of the... Oh god, fucking hell, that was unintentional. You could tell which ones were in the experience and which ones weren't, if that makes sense. Which ones were literally just sound files plucked out of episodes of the show in the past, which is fine. You know, we expected that. You know, like, it's not going to be just a perfect scenario. But what we got was actually quite decent. The story is kind of cool. I'll just go to individual experiences, I guess, without delving into too many spoilers. There were a lot of different settings that Time Fracture gave you. Some of them were really cool. Some of them were just filler. Like to get from one spot to another, if that makes sense, because there's a lot of walking and standing around involved. So, yeah. But there was this one moment where there were Cybermen that came up and they were killing off some characters as part of the experience. And there's obviously, but we have to run away from the Cyberman, so we had to run behind the Cyberman while he was distracted. And as we were doing that, I was at the back of the line, and the Cyberman literally got up and then just jolted to the side and stared me straight in the face. And it was at that point, the fucking whites of my eyes, I looked like a deer in the headlights. My whole life flashed before me eyes. It was an excellent experience, just getting an experience like that in Time Fracture, because it is something that you dream of happening like when you're a child, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like a childhood like dream fulfilled in a little way like that, having like a fucking Cyberman just go just fucking stare you down like really menacingly. I was like, oh, this is it, this is the end for me, I thought to myself. But no, it was a fun experience. Like, little moments like that is what kept me engaged in it. And obviously the ending, like I say, was good. I got a relatively decent amount of like interactions with actors. I mean, I did definitely make my effort to stay at the front of like the crowds that were experiencing this stuff, because if you stay towards the middle or back, you do tend to get ignored by the actors, because the actors get the vibe that, oh, they just want to watch. You don't want to get stuck in and solve puzzles with me. You just want to watch the experience and see how it unfolds, which is fine, like I say. But I was very much in the camp of, I want to get stuck in. I want to sort out stuff. I want to fix things. I want to talk to actors. I want to be in the experience. I want to really add to it. And I think, like, considering the potential like interaction with the actors and the other, like the interaction of the actual experience itself, like, say 100% is you get to talk to every actor, you get to help with every single puzzle. That's 100% like sort of like interaction. I probably got a 60%, so like above average, I guess, because most of the people who were experiencing the thing with me did not really get a go, and that's not because I was hogging it. I did definitely let other people take a turn, and I definitely did swap from different crowds, from different tour guides, if that make, I guess we'll call them actors, because they definitely like lead the crowds through tunnels and through different things and show you, oh, that's a Dalek, avoid the Dalek real quick, that sort of stuff. So yeah, my thoughts are all over the place. I didn't write any of this stuff down. You didn't get to film in there, which is obviously fair enough. There were just little bits and bobs that you got to take photos of and video this and that. I got to sneak in a few little videos here and there. I'll put sporadically on screen as I'm talking about this stuff with you now. But yeah, I think that, like I say, my overall opinion of it is that, like I say, it's a bloody blast to experience if you are, like I say, a hardcore Doctor Who fan and you know all of the lore, you know all of like this and that. But if you are just a casual fan that doesn't really get all of the Doctor Who lingo, then you will feel lost, even if you don't literally like lose your group that you were with and you just stand there like a lost puppy. Like, what do I do? I'm just in this weird alien hallway right now, and then an actor shows up and saves you. Thank goodness. But yeah. The settings were really cool, and as well as that, I can imagine it was definitely exciting for me, but I can imagine for a few other people, like, it people can compare it to like the Doctor Who experience, because the Doctor Who experience is a similar sort of interactive thing where you walk through different like TARDIS consoles and you walk past like other like actors, you know, acting like Cybermen or Slitheen or some shite. But I think the Time Fracture does it a lot better. There is a lot more coherent story behind it, and obviously it does put like the guests at the forefront. When you're in the experience, they do make you the main character, make all of you the main characters. Like, you are the thing that's gonna like save the story. The Doctor isn't here. That's like the whole gist of it, and that's not even really a spoiler. That's just like common knowledge. That's what people would expect Time Fracture to be. You know what I mean? When it's like an interactive experience like that. But no, I did have a really good time, to be honest, and I do hope that something like this does, you know, we do see something like this again in Doctor Who, because the less stuff around like this means that like the less exposure Doctor Who gets. Like, this is like, Time Fracture is just on a street corner in London. Anybody could walk up to it and go, oh, what's this thing? What's this say on the door? It says a unit on the door. I'm going to go inside and see if I can book, you know, to experience this thing. Oh, it's an escape room type thing. Oh, cool. You know, like, it's one of those things, like, there needs to be more stuff like this. There isn't as much stuff like this in the world nowadays when it comes to Doctor Who. Like, the Doctor Who experience is gone, and, you know, and it's not being really replaced with anything. You know, it's a shame. But I am very, very happy that I did get to experience Time Fracture before it went, because I literally experienced it 3 days before, like, its last ever tour, before they cut down all the decor and all the actors went on their merry way with their fat paychecks. You know what I mean? Like, I'm glad I did get to experience it before it wasn't here anymore. I'm glad to say that I saw Time Fracture. But no, it was great. It was also great when you got to see these props that you've seen maybe at the Doctor experience or other places. You know what I mean? Like seeing Cybermen, you see Daleks, you see all these other characters that I won't spoil, but you see them in their costumes and you see them acting the part, and you're like, it's just cool to see. You know what I mean? It's just, it was a good experience. And if anybody watching this has also been to Time Fracture, please comment down below your favourite thing about Time Fracture, but keep spoilers to a minimum, please. I want to make this video as safe to watch as possible, so that people can just watch this video guilt-free and not have to worry about, you know, spoilers of what's happening. Because you can find spoilers on Time Fracture somewhere else. Do you know what I mean? It's not like it's so tight-knit that no one knows what it is unless you experience it. I just want it to be something that someone experiences. It's just really, really cool that you get to go in there and you get to pick up, you get to read stuff, you get to try to solve clues. You know what I mean? I just really enjoy the idea of that, especially like there's so little of that in the Doctor Who, like an ARG kind of, not like ARG, but yeah, I guess it is kind of an ARG actually. So yeah, I really wish there was more stuff like this for Doctor Who. But yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say. I'm pretty sure if there's anything else, I'll stick it somewhere here.
Yeah, I would just like to jump in and quickly show you guys how long that queue for Time Fracture was when we got here. Also want to point out that Time Fracture did have a lovely little shop, though also a dangerous little shop. Dangerous for my wallet, that is. It's taking a lot of willpower to not buy any of this stuff. Oh dear. Anyway, that's all I had to say. I hope you guys enjoyed.
That's it. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.